Mistakes get made in the dark. The yerp fields, where the echo of your actions resounds clearer than any other place you'll find, except for where that's not true. There it is, the tree of life. The idea that all life is related by common descent, where the twigs are existing species and those produced in the past represent the succession of the extinct. The tree's great branches were once budding twigs, a connection between the past, present, and future. A representation of all extinct and living species with its ever-branching and beautiful ramifications. We are an evolution of those that came before. Don't be feary. It probably won't bite. This is Dixie's goods. There's an outfitter and an upgrade bench dangling in that little... Let's see. Offers you extraordinary prices. Fair enough. Time to buy or sell? Well spent. Don't forget the past. Learn from it. Old brick-bracks like that, sometimes still full of good things. Wishes you would just give up and let the world burn.
Schon.
Didn't have much else to say, sir. When a story comes to you, pay attention. where it cuts. This one seems to be in good spirits, despite being left here for dead. Has heard that you have a sense of compassion and trusts it's in your nature to help those in need. Asks you to do the right thing for the sake of your conscience. It's only through your inner conflict you're held accountable for your actions. Is grateful you chose that. You can't be good without doing good for others.
Light instantly banishes dark.
How much light do you really need?
All the light, all of it!
I mean, you could leave a little space for the dark.
All the light.
Try to be friends with the beast. Lupin's camp has always been there, hidden deep inside the mountains. Tread carefully here. This is Lupin's camp. Stories only survive if someone is listening, so pay attention. The oil claimed this land a long time ago. Let's see. It's a place well hidden. It's just below the above. Out of Date's impressed you made it this far, but there's still so much left to do. The end of the world is still on everyone's minds. You've beaten a path where you have the power to destroy or save everyone. Question is, what you'll do with that responsibility. He can sense that your heart beats steadily and acknowledges that the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Thinks it's important that you remember who you are and where you came from. Someone without knowledge of their history and origin is like a tree without roots. He promises he'll be there for you. Just come talk to him beneath the tree if you're feeling lost. Out of Date says there's a time for everything, and now there's no use thinking of the past, for it's gone. Think of the present, because that's where you are. It's time to set your priorities as the one who completes things. If you continue to do good, good will follow you. If the world really does end, there won't be anywhere to run. So he's prepared for the worst, something he calls the Ark. He hopes you're right. He gets that you mean the journey continues either way, but personally he wants the tree to survive. Out of Date says there's no clear record of the chain of events that changed the course of history and brought the world to its knees. He's found evidence on the Ark, records of a crisis, decades of contamination that permeated the ground and broke its inner core. The contamination disrupted what we now know as Ki energy, the life force that runs through all things, living and inanimate. He's been told the blight affected everything at a genetic level and turned our perception of normality on its head. It was only those that changed that avoided extinction, proving that the possibility for survival and renewal was real. He understands you are curious about the ship at the foot of the tree. He says it surfaced when the oil broke through the ground. The Ark predates the back-in days, and now, after years of study of the manuals he found inside, he believes he's figured the ship out. The Ark has room for 4 more, and he trusts you'll apply wisdom to your compassion and choose whom to save if the world comes to end. He'll keep the seats open, and you are free to invite up to 4 others to join you in the Ark, in the event of a cataclysm. Out of Date says that from what he's heard, you've been busy. He says he appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately he's got urgent news from his friend Goop in the southeast. Out of Date says that even though he's unsure about your intentions, he hopes you'll support Goop. He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Goop and making sure he gets what he needs is up to you. That's the sound of impending doom. Out of Date's premonitions of imminent disaster are true. The Porkypuff needs to be handled. Out of Date says that Goop is worried now that the Southeast World Eater is stepping up its activity. He explains that Goop is working on a goo-gliding vessel in order to get to the... Out of Date suggests that you should head southeast as fast as possible and see what you can do to help. He wonders what's on your mind. He says you really need to go see Goop as soon as possible. He wonders what's on your mind. Didn't have much else to say, so no problem. Have you been up all night? He's helped out of date to get the Ark hardware restored. There's just some wiring left to do before the vessel's ready for takeoff. He just needs to reroute the excessive high spark to run through the proper plug in the system so it won't break the path if it blows. Gizmo isn't sure you'll need to make use of the Ark, though. It looks like your efforts to save the tree and the world are paying off. He knows your good-hearted nature means you won't leave him behind, but you need to work on yourself if he's going to be isolated with you in the Ark. There are things you don't see eye to eye on. It's not that he doesn't care about others, but the fact that the Ark only has 4 extra seats means you have to be picky when choosing company.
So, what we have here is an opportunity to help your next. There's a seat open on the Ark should you want to offer it as a gesture of appreciation.
A conscious choice to be alone means you won't miss anyone.
The thing we're really missing here is someone with compassion. You just seem to have passion for yourself.
The world would be a better place if we were left alone to handle it. Then we'd only have to talk to ourselves, and that's how you get the good answers.
Well, anyone in their right mind would agree you're better off on your own. Let's hope the Ark carries you all the way there.
He's surprised to hear that after all he's done. He basically rebuilt that thing for you. He'd never expect you'd put yourself and others before him. Gizmo will always make time for you. Says all life is linked to the Tree of Life. Glad to see you brightening the world along with the day. Wishes you goodbye. He still has a hard time accepting the fact you denied him a seat on the Ark. He can't deny he's thinking of rewiring it. Says talking to you was interesting. Gizmo will always make time for you. Seems you've found your place with the Myriad tribe. Tells you to look for Wiz. You really ought to meet that Tinker-Tonker. Wishes you goodbye. Gizmo will always... He still has a hard time accepting the fact you denied him. Gizmo, understand. It's a wild sensation to be away from the open air. He's helped Out of Date to get the Ark hardware restored. There's just some wiring left to do before the vessel's ready for takeoff. He just needs to reroute the excessive high spark to run through the proper plug in the system so it won't break the path if it blows. Gizmo isn't sure you'll need to make use of the Ark, though. It looks like your efforts to save the tree and the world are paying off. He knows your good-hearted nature means you won't leave him behind, but you need to work on yourself if he's going to be isolated with you in the Ark. There are things you don't see eye to eye on. It's not that he doesn't care about others, but the fact that the Ark only has 4 extra seats means you have to be picky when choosing company.
So, what we have here is an opportunity to help your next. There's a seat open on the Ark should you want to offer it as a gesture of appreciation.
Why? You don't need anyone else but yourself and me, of course, but I'm a part of you, so that doesn't count.
If you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go further, go together. The only one we'd want to get away quickly from here is darkness.
But you know you can't go on without me. Even if I'm bad company, I complete you.
I think we can finally agree on something. It is better to be alone than in bad company. But best of all is being good company yourself.
He's been thinking this whole thing with the Ark through and has decided he won't be joining you. First off, he isn't 100% sure he's got the wiring right, and really, he doesn't think he can stand being in that enclosed space with you for long. Gizmo will always make time for you. Wouldn't be surprised. We are lonesome animals that spend all our life trying to be less lonesome. Maybe that key will match. That there's Subnautica Station. Goop flounders around in there. Says there's an interesting place nearby that no one knows about, but doesn't really want to talk about it right now. Says there's no reason to let you in on where it is. Says there's no reason to make threats. Would have told you about it sooner or later. It's not far from here. Says someone said you survived seeing the Western World Eater. Wishes you goodbye. Like a walk in the woods. It's Peekaboo Park. Young ones love this sort of place. This one seems to be in good spirits despite being left here for dead. Has heard that you have a sense of compassion and trusts it's in your nature to help those in need. Asks you to do the right thing for the sake of your conscience. It's only through your inner conflict you're held accountable for your actions. Is grateful you chose that. You can't be good without doing good for others.
The light shines on!
Better isn't the word I would use.
Right, not better. Best.
You're the worst.
The worst of being the worst. We're just the best.
It's time for an adventure, for good or bad. Says it's good to see you again. He's Goop. You might remember him from the old days when he tried to teach you how to swim. Goop says you were always so righteous as a child, and he can still feel it, even at a distance. Goop says memories fade surprisingly fast. We are all pieces of what we remember. It's only together we can remember the story as it was. He can't tell you much, as he didn't want to hear anything about it. He can't understand how someone could be so vicious, even though he knows there are reasons behind it. He understands you've returned to face Lupa Lupin. That's the destiny you've been carrying within yourself all these years. He says that the catastrophe back then didn't vanquish the good in you. It's still there, as bright as when you were a child. Now the time has come for you to remember and act. Your life is your life, not the story you're told about it. He understands why you seek revenge, but he doesn't think you realize how that'll make you feel once you claimed it.
Nothing shines like the dark. Oh, no, wait. Oh, well, you know.
Just when you think there's no hope, hope comes along.
Blinded by the light.
Shining like a brand new day.
Next time, go with your gut. Your dark, dark gut.
Can hardly believe the world is going to make it. Wonders what that's going to do to the goo. Thanks you for doing everything you could to de-goop the surf. Thinks the Myriad made a good match with you. You're both like sunshine on the surf. But hey, back to the goo. Knows yesterday is already gone. It's what you do today and tomorrow that'll move you forward. You need to set the past aside at least for now. He can't leave the Subnautica station, as the pollution has worn down the insulation of his suit, so you must salvage enough scrap to fix up his goo glide, starting with the old wreck box outside. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the goo glide strong enough to fight the Porky Puff. You're lucky that way. There's still cargo left on the shores from before the apocalypse. His best guess is a tower tanker hit a reef and went under. The light of day shows how bad the world has become. Smack! Toxanol's offshore drilling caused oily matter to spread with the rain and contaminate both the groundwater and open surf. The long-lasting effect this had on the evolution of wildlife was, as we know now, the only reason we came to exist. You can't really understand. You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. He's got the goo glide functional. You'll have a pull hook and a salvage net, but no armor, and an engine strong enough to break through the thick goo further out. There are lots of valuables left behind on the surf floor that the salvage net will enable you to haul. You just need to find the right spots. Goop says Gizmo's devised a cannon for the goo glide, but instead of bullets, it flips quacks. Squeaky distractions for the triple attentive Porky Puff, which will give you time to get yourself in position. The best way to find quacks is to talk to Gulp. He has the bearings of the surf archipelago and knows where the quacks like to float. This means you'll have the privilege of visiting Gulp in the Sinky Dink. He'll be able to give you directions to where you'll find quacks. He only knows what's visible to the naked eye. Gulp is not much of a babbler and mostly keeps to himself and his drink. Feels like something's about to happen today. Welcome to the surf archipelago, where the horizon rests on the surfy goo. You're poking around Pockburn, a prime village. What doesn't kill you? Night covers the land. Says that isn't sure how long the village will last if it continues. As if the plague ruining the land and destroying the crops wasn't enough to bring the village to its knees already. It's troubling that the rivals believe their reign of terror is actually going to lead to a better world. The Sifu asked you to help, and that's what you must do. Says you should take it easy. This here is the Sinky Dink, home of Gulp, at the very least.
Ja.
This is an epic already.
Graun.
He's pretty sure he's heard of you before, although the details are maybe a little hazy. He wonders if you have something for him to drink. Points out that he's hungry too, but always thirsty for more.
Oh, bother.
Says you look like you've got a powerful thirst to do something in this world. Good, bad, not really sure, but it seems like you've been drinking in your destiny and liking the flavor.
Oh, bother.
Wonders if you could take the time to help a man slake his own thirst. You'd be doing him a liquid solid. You're a do-gooder, so you know you want to. Either way, he hopes you find a way to wet your whistle before the world comes to an awful dry end and leaves us all thirsting for more. Says life's like a mystery drink. Sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes it's awful. But either way, you can't stop drinking till you're dead. Sure, but that's nowhere near as quick and easy. Who wants to stop to chew? Wants to raise a glass to you getting the world fixed up a bit. Respects how you always try to help, no matter that the world's fate is hard to swallow. Sees why you joined up with the Myriad. They like a peaceful drink, just like you.
Ja.
Says he sells them drinks. They mostly suck them down on their own. But who cares about them? Says you'd be as bummed out as him if you came for the hot stuff. The Glugmocker, Nimhimbibble, and his favourite radium syrup. That one's even more intoxicating now, aged in truck tankers and all.
Ja.
Without a drink, and radium syrup especially, he can't move, much less think, as the power of his mind is directly proportional to the quantity of syrup he swigs. That's why he's called Gulp.
Slochba.
The drink helps him forget the state the world is in, but it only lasts until tomorrow. The world is still doomed, even if the sun goes up. It makes most dumber, but that's his special burden to bear. He wants you to know he has other interests, too. He's the Surfipelago's self-proclaimed ornithologist, for example. There are other ways than a cold drink to relieve stress, even in these dark times, and, fortunately for you, he can help. Watching Pippi's flap is calming, but better yet are the ones you can look at and touch, like quacks. Squeezing them is a great way to relax. Says he's not sure you can. Physically, that is. There's no squeeze in the world able to counteract his expansiveness. Gulp tells you to not forget those quacks. The Quack Hollow. It's just lonely. Your destiny waits on the path you'll take to avoid it. definitely not open. Reach for those skulls. You have a chance to change the future for good or bad. Nothing spews bullets like this one. You need to line up the switches so they match. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. This thing purrs like an aqua cat. Had enough of that?